You are tuned in to Iggy's Fantasy and Betting, the podcast that puts trophies on your mantle and money in your pocket. Now, your host, coming to you high from the Rocky Mountains, IDP Iggy.
Sorry for that delay. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty going on right there. No big deal, though. I hope you're doing well out there, everybody. Happy Tuesday the 13th. A suspicious day in some cultures, especially one that I come from. But anyway, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. We got NBA Finals tonight. Very pumped. I just wrote it. Put it on there. Let me know what you think. So what that is the spread is at +4, -4, depending on who you take, and then +150 for the Suns, -182 for the Bucks. 220 is the over/under. Give me your thoughts. Let me hear it. What do you think is going to happen? It's always fun to get the finals and the NBAs. Game 4. It's a very crucial game for Giannis and Middleton and Holiday and Lopez and Portis and Forbes and Teague and Cunningham and, all of those guys. They all going to have to step up and make sure they win this game at home. You got to win when you're at home. That's just how it is. They've only lost one game, barely lost it. The line keeps moving. It was at 186, bumped up to like 195, now it's down to 180. So people are probably putting money in on different ways. We'll just have to see how it goes. I'm going for the Bucks, no doubt about it. We're going to have to see how it pans out. I told you guys I made my mid-season bet as is, and I'm just trying to get the Bucks back there. I think Giannis, once he wins it, if he wins it, it's all over. Like Chris Paul was vindicated just by going, but Giannis will have to win one, right? He's not really, even after knocking out the Nets and the Hawks, knocking out some really great teams, they still are being discredited, and I think that's a disservice to how great of a player he is and how fortunate we are get to watch somebody like this in the finals and watch CP3 in the finals. That's a great thing. Chris Paul's been playing in a lot of years. It's our first time to see him in the finals, so very interesting, very awesome, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Hey, but today, man, you got it. Target Tuesday. We're looking at who in the division will win, over-unders, what we expect to see happen, and so forth. And we're going to have Big Amo on here. He's doing a lot of research. Hopefully he'll be able to join us next week, and we'll see what's going on. But we're starting out with the NFC North, of course, right? The North, man. The oldest, the black and blue, the epitome of football is the NFC North. And that's what we're going with. So division winners, let's see here. We got the 330. Let's go ahead and start with the over-unders for the season. All right, let's go ahead and start with Chicago at 7.5. Under that is -120. Over that is +100. Once again, Chicago Bears, 7.5 wins, -120 on the under, +100 on the over. We pull up their schedule, and they got some really nice ones over here, man. It's I don't know how they're going to get a victory on the road. When I'm just looking at this, it's quite interesting. But, to break it down, they still have some pretty good games at home. At Los Angeles Rams to open up the season on NBC. Matthew Stafford opening up his LA Ram career at a field he's very familiar with in Soldier Field. It's the beginning of the season, so it shouldn't be too messed up. That's anybody's ball game. I don't know who's going to win that one. I really don't. Then they have the Bengals at home. Oh, wait, excuse me. That one's game is at Los Angeles. Pardon me. So, Matthew Stafford gets to open up against a familiar foe at home. The Bengals at home, at Cleveland. Lions at home, at Las Vegas. Green Bay at home, at Tampa Bay. 49ers at home, at Pittsburgh. Got the bye on November 14th. And then Ravens at home, at Detroit. Cardinals at home, at Green Bay. Vikings at home, at Seattle. Giants at home, at Minnesota. So it's kind of weird. Their schedule's like almost completely. It is. It's like home, away, 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 home, away. Woof. That's going to be hard to develop a rhythm. But they do get a bye week after being at Pittsburgh. And then they get the Ravens at home. So that's interesting. That's an interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen a schedule set up like that. I don't think I ever have. That's quite it's quite impressive, really. I don't know if I guess they intentionally meant to do that. You never know. But we broke it down. Let's see. At Rams, that's going to be a tough win. I don't know who's going to win. Bengals, you got one win. I feel confident win. At Cleveland, I don't know about that. Lions, that's a toss-up, but I'm going to give it to the Bears. At Vegas, that's another toss-up. It's not a for sure victory. Packers, I don't think so. At Tampa Bay, I don't think so. 49ers, Halloween night or Halloween afternoon. How interesting. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and give it to them. 3. At Pittsburgh, no. Ravens, no. At Detroit. You know what? Let's say Detroit wins that one. The Cardinals at home. Let's say the Cardinals win that one. At Green Bay, I don't think so. Vikings, at home, we'll give it to them. 4. At Seattle, no. Giants at home, 5. At Minnesota, no. So for their line to be 7.5, I see only five victories. But the bookie said -120 on the under as well. You know, with a 17-game schedule, could they lose 10 and win 7? That's possible, but they still would be under the line as it's currently set right now. All right, moving along to Detroit. Detroit is at +120. Oh, their line is at 4.5. +120 on the under, -140 on the over. Very interesting bet to me. I think that's a really low line. That's a really, really low line. Let's look at their schedule. I know people don't like Dan Campbell. Let's see what's going on. They start out at home against San Francisco. San Francisco should win that game. Los Angeles Rams on the road. Matthew Stafford versus LA Rams. Man, that's nice. That's a week 2 battle. Man alive. I don't know if they're going to want to win that game. I don't know if the team's going to win that game for the Rams. So I'm not counting it nothing. Vikings at home. No. Green Bay on the road. I don't think so. Philadelphia, there's one win. On the road at Denver, no. Home against Baltimore, no. Got the bye week. Home against the Cardinals, no. Chicago. At Chicago, I think we gave that one to Chicago. At Pittsburgh, no. Atlanta, that's a winnable game. Vikings at home, let's just give them one. That's a divisional game. Oh, wait, no. The Vikings, that's on the road. I don't think they're going to do it. So there's 2 games. Cleveland, no. Seattle, no. Oh, wait. I'm going in the wrong order. Their map, it's a little backwards for me. So we have San Francisco, home opener. I don't know. I don't know that San Francisco is a lock to win that game, but I wouldn't say Detroit is. So September 20th, we got, and this is off the Lions website. So it's not like I'm reading some different one. It's on September 20th. Got Green Bay Packers Monday Night Football, no. Then the Ravens, no. Chicago on the road, I don't think so. Minnesota on the road, I don't think so. October, you got the Bengals at home, yes. Then you have the Rams away, I don't know. The Eagles, yes, on Halloween. Bye week, then we have Steelers on the road, Cleveland on the road, nope. The Bears, let's count that a victory. We said they would lose, they would split. So then we got the Vikings at the home. I don't think so. The Ravens on the road December 12th. I don't think so. The Cardinals December 19th at home. I don't think so. Falcons December 26th. There's 4. And then Seattle, and then close out the season at home against Green Bay. I think that line's set pretty good at 4.5 because they know they definitely can win a game. Like I told you, they can win that San Francisco game. Then if they do that, I think they have a really great shot to win 5 games. But, man, it's just hard to really trust on the Lions. I don't really know what to expect with that, I would kind of just be taking that with a bit of caution. That's how I recommend it. Green Bay doesn't have a over-under line, but let's just break down their schedule, and I'll tell you what I think they have. So they open up against, and this is all Aaron Rodgers dependent, everybody. Everything we're about to say is Aaron Rodgers dependent on on him being there, on him being at every single game. I don't know if he's going to pull like an Emmitt Smith and just miss the first 2 weeks. Like I said, maybe Za'Darius picks up the trash can and smashes it in the locker. Like, we need Aaron. And then maybe we get him back. I don't know. We'll just have to see there. But they open up on the road at New Orleans. I think it's a win. Okay, like I said, with Aaron Rodgers, that should be a win. Lions at home, that's a win. At San Francisco, Sunday night. I'm just so on the fence with San Francisco, but let's call it a win. Boom. Steelers at home, I'm not sure about, so I won't count that as a win. Bengals, that's 4. Chicago on the road, that's 5. Washington, I don't know. I think Washington's going to be pretty good, so I won't count that one. At Cardinals, I think Cardinals are going to be pretty good. At Kansas City, that's a rough stretch. Washington at home. Cardinals on Thursday night. Football on the road. And then backdoor that with at the Chiefs. Man, that's a tough schedule. So we'll stay away from that. So to review, we're at 5 wins. At home against Seattle, that's usually a win. 6 at Vikings. I don't know about that one. Versus Rams, I think that's a win before the bye week. So we're at 7 wins, and at home against Chicago, 8. At Ravens, I'm not so sure about. Cleveland's a 9. Minnesota at home's a 10. And the Lions at home's an 11. So if the line's set at about 11.5, I think that's about right. If the line's set at 10.5, I think they can win 11 games, go 11-6. It's kind of where I saw them going at the beginning of the year as is. So if the line does come out with Aaron Rodgers, I think that's a pretty good stretch. That's a rough stretch right there. October 24th at home against a rough defense. Then you go play October 28th against a really rough defense 4 days later on the road. And then after that, you get a afternoon game between Patrick Mahomes, a high-powered offense, and then you get kind of a rival game with the Seattle Seahawks. Seems like we play them almost every year. And that's a rough month, man. From October 24th, what is that? That's a rough 3 weeks. 4 games in 3 weeks. That's rough. That's bad. That's really bad. And then they got to top that off with at Vikings. So that's really a bad month. That's just a really rough month. But hey, that's what makes the champions, right? They're going to have to get off to a good start. They have to win the first 2 games at home. Or wait, they have to win against the Saints, yeah, and then against the Lions. They really should try to start out 3-0. That would help a lot. All right, so like I said, no line on them. So we're going to move it right along to Minnesota. Their line's at 9 even, so be careful on the bookies. Make sure you get a push. Make sure you get your money back. Because if it's 9, not exactly 9, if it is exactly 9, you need to make sure they're not like, well, that's what we said. Give us that money. Make sure you get a pushback. That's just some good bit of advice. But they're at -110 either side, so the bookies are basically telling you we don't know what's going to happen with the Vikings. When we look at their schedule, very, very easy to see and read. We have September 12th at Cincinnati Bengals. So their line's at 9. Let's take a look. Cincinnati Bengals win at Arizona. I don't think so. Seattle, I don't know. Cleveland, they should beat Cleveland. Well, Kevin Stefanski, we'll just count. Wait, Detroit, okay. At Carolina, yes. Dallas, I don't know. At Baltimore, I don't know. At Chargers, yeah, they should beat the Chargers. There's 4. Green Bay, I don't think so. Wait, Green Bay at home, I think we gave that split. So, yeah, 5. At San Francisco, let's just say 6. At Detroit, 7. Pittsburgh, I don't know. At Chicago, 8. Rams, I think they beat them, 9. At Green Bay, loss. Chicago Bears, 10. Whew. Yeah, right on that line, 9.5. That's an interesting one. I think they got 10 wins, 9, but you take away one of those, they're right at 9. It's a tough one. The bookies are pretty much spot on with that one. I don't know. I'd probably stay away from that bet. That's probably why they put it at -110 either way, because they don't really know either. And if you don't get a push at 9, now you have to have 10. Which you need 10 at 9.5 anyway, but it's just kind of weird at what happens with 9. You could just be playing all season and have it back to normal. Get that money back later. Probably at a lower rate with inflation. They do have this on DK, though, with the divisions NFC North. Packers negative 143. Minnesota Vikings plus 250. Chicago Bears plus 400. Detroit Lions plus 2,000. Chicago bet is a really sucker bet. We went through it. I think they're going to have a hard time getting to 7 wins, much less 7.5. The Packers, I don't know that they breeze through this division even with Aaron Rodgers. The Vikings are good. Mike Zimmer has a great defense going over there. Daniela Hunter's back. Kirk Cousins has got all the weapons he could ask for. They drafted really well, in my opinion, added depth. They added some veteran presence at cornerback to help the rookies come along. They still have Harrison Smith. They have Eric Kendricks still. I mean, they're going to be a really good team. I don't see how that's going to happen. Chicago, I was feeling really good about them at first until, they have at Rams, then Bengals, Cleveland, Lions. They could start 3-1. Let's say they start 3-1. Now all of a sudden, where is Justin Fields if that's all Andy Dalton? If Andy Dalton leads you to 3-1 victory coming into Vegas, let's just say he's even 4-1. He's 4-1 headed into the Packers at home. Or let's just say he's 3-2. Let's say he's 3-2 headed into the Packers at the house. Somehow Chicago beats the Packers at the house. That's going to be hard to replace Andy Dalton. But then he's got at Tampa Bay, 49ers, at Pittsburgh before the bye week. Bye week happens after you're setting your first matchup for Justin Fields would be at home against the Ravens. That's a rough one, And he has at Detroit, Cardinals, at Green Bay, Vikings, at Seattle. Those are some rough defenses. Cardinals, Ravens, Vikings, Packers. Whew, I don't know. That's rough, man. I don't know what they're going to do about that situation. I don't know if there's going to be a right. I don't know if that's going to be able to save Matt Nagy. But they were a playoff team, right, under his rule with Mitchell Trubisky. So take it for what it's worth and what you think on that. I think it's a sucker bet at plus 400. I don't think there's any way they can be better than the Vikings or the Packers. The Packers at negative 143 to win the division. It's not the best odds, but if Aaron Rodgers is there and healthy, it'll be hard for somebody to supplant that because they have a great defense. They have great, with Devin Funchess coming and Amari Rodgers coming, the wide receiver room's a little more complete. You have a few different skill sets with Devin Funchess being like a big guy, red zone threat, and Amari Rodgers is probably going to be like he's like Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel or somebody like this, Cooper Kupp, in that kind of format. I see that a lot. The Bears also just don't have a good enough defense to me. The Vikings, Mike Zimmer whipped together a great defense by the end of the year. And their offense was, banging at the beginning anyway. So all that should be, I never really questioned Mike Zimmer's defense. They had a hard time last year stopping the run. But I think that they can address those needs. Sheldon Richardson's back, took less money to go back and play with Minnesota and go play with Mike Zimmer again. I don't know. I think that's a very interesting division when we look at it. When Green Bay's line does come out, just to review again, so I'm under on Chicago at negative 120. The Detroit Lions are right there. I think they're just right at 4.5 wins. I'm kind of over, though. I'm on the over at negative 140. I think they can surprise a team if they win the first week. Basically, if the Lions beat the 49ers the first week, I think they can win 4 games in 16 with the rest of the 16 games. That's what it boils down to me. And I think they have a better shot to beat the San Francisco 49ers than most people want to admit. Green Bay, I told you they don't have one, but as of now, at least not on DK. But I do believe they have 11 wins. I think that's right about where they are. So if you see 10.5, if you see 9.5, I would take the over. If you see 11.5, 12 even, 11 spot on, I would be really careful. Minnesota at 9, we just broke it down. I think they got 10 wins. I really do. But with the over-under being at negative 110, it's 6 one way, half a dozen another. But just like I said, remember the push if you do have an even number like 9. It's like the bookies are telling you too. We think they got about 9 wins. We're not sure either way, though. It could be one above, it could be one below. But they're basically an 8, 9, 10 win team. All right. And keep in mind, these are season-long bets. If you place your bet right now, you're going to have to wait till, in some cases, the second week of January. So you're talking about a 5.5 month long investment 5-month investment. As long as you're okay with that, that's okay. And I think it's a good thing to do. I place long-term bets because A, I think they're fun. B, I feel really confident. And I don't know. It's kind of nice to get money. You know, it used to be, and it still can happen if a division's wrapped up pretty soon and you bet on a division winner or a team gets there over really soon. Let's say the Lions start out and win 5 of their first 8. They're sitting at 5-3. Well, you don't got to worry about it. That money's already in the bank. But generally, these bookies are going to nail it within the first or the last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? So always be prepared for that too. You may be getting a little bit of Christmas money. You may be getting a little money right after Christmas or the New Year. So which are both nice times to get those to get money, no doubt about it. So Green Bay strengths. I don't know what their weakness is coaching, in my opinion. Not like that they have bad coaching, just bad coaching in big moments. We've been out coached in the past 2 NFC championships. And you can say Tom Brady did some of that coaching. That's absolutely fine with me. He's earned that right. But that's the only issue. I think the roster is built for perfect success. You know, that part of it I don't understand. If that's what Rodgers is upset about, I don't think he is. I think he thought he was going to lose a lot of his teammates, and that was very upsetting to him. But they've retained most of the teammates: Aaron Jones, Mercedes Lewis. You know, they have retained quite a bit. Mason Crosby's still there. And I don't really see weakness on their defensive line. You know, there's not a weakness there. Linebacker, inside linebacker, but I think Burns can step it up. I think that this could be a good year for the inside linebacker, even with the loss of Kirksey. And, of course, they have one of the best secondaries in the league, so that's not within question. The Vikings, can they stop the run? Is their offensive line improved? I mean, it's crazy to say that their offensive line is improved whenever you have Dalvin Cook and, you know, Jefferson and Thielen catching touchdowns left and right. But they could use a little bit more presence because if Kirk Cousins doesn't have any pressure, he's going to be amazing. And that's the bottom line. But did they improve their secondary? I think so. They're getting Danielle Hunter back. He should be a threat 17 games a week, I hope. The linebacking core is good. Nothing to complain about there. Chicago just has an underperforming Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks. Their secondary is still really awful. There's big questions on the offensive line. Big questions at the quarterback position. I think Andy Dalton has a chance to come out and win three of his first 5 games, which should give the Bears a lot of hope. All right. And then the Lions, I think Dan Campbell, you know, I do think that he's kind of picked on in the media, and I think they kind of shine a bad light on him, so to speak. But the Lions, I think, are going to play motivated, and you know, this might be exactly what some of those players need is kind of aggressive kind of demeanor coach, or just as a change of pace in Detroit, and somebody that wants to win and brings a mentality that's a lot different than anything I've seen in Detroit in my years of being an NFC North fan. So I think that Detroit could, like I said, I'm over on their 4.5 games. I think they can go over that. But I don't know, you know, defensive line, it's just a whole new scheme. Most of the time, first year, a new system, it's very difficult. But the Lions bar was so low. I'm a bigger fan of Jared Goff than people might think. I guess maybe I'm sympathetic to Carson Wentz and Jared Goff because their first 2-round picks, and something had to make people think they were worth it. Now, has Jared Goff shown that he doesn't have a complete skill set? Yes. Did Matthew Stafford have a complete skill set? I don't know. I don't really think he did. And I think Jared Goff's skill set, if is utilized correctly, can take you to the Super Bowl. That's been proven. So for what that's worth, the Lions, I don't think they're a division winner, but you know, just listen to some strengths. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. Remember, go donate, go join the charity league, man. Like I said, guess the winner gets an automatic bid to the Warrior Bowl. So many people upset that they didn't get in. Join the Kawasaki Kids Charity League. The winner will automatically get a bid to the Warrior Bowl 2022. It's crazy to say. But KawasakiKids.org if you want to figure out what all the 100% of all money donated to the league will go to. Brave kids, strong hearts. Like I said, it affects the leading heart disease and in developed nations yet. Very, very few are aware of it or even know that it exists. So we got to change that. That's our big goal around here, right? And then we're on all platforms, man. And then make sure you check us out on YouTube as well. Got the channels going. If you're watching, thank you. I appreciate it. Remember, let me know what you think about the Suns and Bucks. I've already told you where my mind's at. I'm all in on the Bucks, baby. Let's just look at real quick, see if they got any boost up going yet. When we close out this show proper, you know how much I love the finals, the NBA, man. It's a great sport. Going the distance, NBA finals to go to Game 7 was at plus 125. Now it's been boosted to plus 140. I think it might go to Game 7. I think we might be rewarded with a 7-game final from the NBA, which can't ask much more as a fan. Like I said, there's the lines. I've took the books on the money line. So let's see what happens. All right, guys. Here's to you. Peace. We will be back tomorrow. And remember, have a good day. Enjoy the games tonight. And I'll see you soon.